Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers got the victory at home, 126-108 against the Denver Nuggets. And we're very, very pleased about that, but we're a bit concerned because AD did go out in the first half with a foot injury of some sort, and we're not exactly sure what is to come in regards to that. No clue. But one thing that we can say for certain is that Thomas Bryant filled in excellent and really gave us the size that we needed to make up for AD's absence. I could not have been more pleased with Thomas Bryant. If I'm not mistaken, he went 9 for 11 field goals, hit a 3 in this game, had some fantastic dunks, was running the floor very well, got a couple awesome steals. He was just terrific in the minutes that he was given. And for the fact that we didn't play him in these last couple games on the road, didn't hardly see him at all against Boston. You just look and see the type of production he gave you tonight, and you realize how much we didn't allow ourselves to succeed based on the possibilities there. You look at Max Christie and how well he played tonight, and even though he only had a limited amount of minutes, you saw him pop off the screen with rebounding and defensive ability. The one thing that I would say to pay attention to in watching the film of this game is how people actually did when Max Christie was guarding them. I don't think more than 2 shots were made over Max Christie's tonight. I don't think more than 2 shots. He has that same exact ability that Wenyen Gabriel has. People just don't score on this dude, whether they're talented as heck or just lesser guys. He's going to have some success based on his body length and his ability to defend. And that's what I was saying when we were trying to guard Jaylen Brown with Patrick Beverley and all that. I'm like, man, the person I would put on him is Wenyen Gabriel, or Max Christie, rather. Because Max Christie's fast enough to keep up with him. Max Christie has those long, active arms. And Max Christie is somebody who's going to look to rebound the ball, which means other guys are not getting rebounds when he succeeds. This is the same dynamic that Wenyen gave you. This is the same dynamic that Austin gives you. This is the same dynamic that Troy gives you. And we saw a healthy dose of Troy Brown tonight, along with Austin Reeves, along with Max Christie, and we had a rotation down there that gave us enough size to keep up. Thomas Bryant, we were out there making life easy for ourselves. That's what I saw tonight. And in the situations where we ran the stuff that we normally run, when we had our smaller players on the floor, Patrick Beverley and Dennis Schroeder, when we played them together, we went down by 8. We went down by 10. You know what I mean? It's like these things were evident as you watch those players come in the game and play together. Now, they look good separate. Even though Patrick Beverley plus minus wasn't very good, he hit his shots tonight. He had some assists. He had some rebounds. So, from a statistical standpoint, this is one of his better games. Dennis Schroeder did some good things. He also hit some big shots for us, made some good plays, had a really good plus minus. So they both played pretty well. But they cannot succeed on the floor together, and our coach doesn't seem to want to play them any other way. And so that is something that you can see the score. It was evident in the score. When he did that, we went down. When he took them off the floor and went back to size, we went right back up. It was literally that simple. So that's what I want to say. That's what comes to mind just to start this process in regards to this game. I thought that the Denver Nuggets played down to the level of the opponent tonight. When AD goes down in the first half of a basketball game, you think the Denver Nuggets are going to take off. They just kind of did what we allowed them to do, to be honest with you. They're a team, in my opinion, that just doesn't use their players right. And I think they had a nice balance of offense out there. I think when you have Nikola Jokic running your offense, you're definitely going to see balance with guys getting their attempts, and it's all balanced. The problem is they don't hardly shoot any three-point shots, and they have some really good three-point shooters. A guy like KCP, Laker fans, we know KCP. He only attempted 2 3-point shots tonight, and they only scored 8 points. They're not doing that right. KCP should have attempted at least 6 threes tonight. If they knew what type of player they had, he would attempt more threes tonight. Jamal Murray's a 3-point shooter. They had him doing all kinds of stuff that had him playing off the dribble and stuff like that. That's cool. He can definitely dribble, but man, if I had Jamal Murray on my team, it wouldn't be nothing but catch and shoot situations. I would be running him off of back screens and all different types of things that would allow Jokic opportunities to connect with him on plays that allow him to shoot the ball. Just catch and shoot, catch and shoot, catch and shoot. I just don't think Mike Malone is really using his players correctly. and I loved it because we were able to succeed because of it. Um, so that's what I saw. Bones Highland was trying to attempt a three, but he was 0 for 5. I could argue he was the main problem out there. They just didn't have any bench production when you consider him and Jeff Green were the only guys taking shots from the bench. The rest of their guys were just attempting like 1 or 2 shots. So it was really about the starters there. And I thought our team did a fantastic job defensively tonight. We just really did, again, put size on the floor. And those players played active. You know, they did what they needed to do to get involved. They stole the ball tremendously. We had 11 steals as a team tonight, and I think we forced, I believe it was 18 turnovers or something like that, or 17 turnovers were there for the Nuggets. So I just really, really appreciate that. And I think we turned the ball over 14 times ourselves. So we don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but I think we could do a little better too. So that's about our average, I'd say. The three-point shot was pretty good. We shot 33% from the three, which is average for us, and we kept it low. I think we only attempted 33 of them, I believe it was, so that's not so bad. And the Nuggets only attempted 23s or something like that. Very strange game plan for a team that has the type of shooting that they have. It's just, I don't know, between Jokic, Murray, and KCP, I can get 10 threes. And so I just think they love to attempt a two-point shot, and that played right into our favor. Because we want to attempt a two as well. Most of the time we end up finding ourselves in situations because teams let it fly and they end up shooting and hitting more than us. But if you're going to shoot only twos, we only want to shoot twos, and we're going to do that better than you. That's exactly what happened. We had 64 points in the paint to their 58. And it was just a strong testament to guys attacking. Russell Westbrook with a triple-double tonight. He was tremendous in getting guys involved, although we had some bad issues with him. Doing some things in the first half that we complained about, the turnovers and stuff. It was looking really ugly down there in the second quarter. But in the second half, he picked it right back up, shook all that off, and was able to play better. So we really like what we saw from Russell overall. LeBron James, I thought he was playing excellent tonight. Other than shooting the ball poorly from behind the arc, I like everything that he did. Because what I saw from him was just him kind of playing as a decoy, allowing other guys to get off, not looking to really enforce his will any way, shape, or form, not even looking to walk the ball up. He basically wasn't even ball handling tonight. And I liked it because I thought it was good. Because for me, that was always my argument for Bron. He allows himself to take on so much attention. And while you're the greatest player and all of that stuff, in this situation, that's not in your best interest. You don't want to get the number one defense. You don't even really want the number two defense. You want that defense to go toward AD and some of them other guys. And then, as the course of the game goes on, just like a cat, you can sneak up and catch people. And that's exactly what he did tonight against the Denver Nuggets. He snuck up and caught him in the fourth quarter. They forgot about him. He was an afterthought. It was Russell Westbrook creating plays for other people. Austin Reeves was getting MVP chance. Thomas Bryant is dunking the ball every 5 minutes, and you forget that LeBron James is literally on the floor just kind of running back and forth, just kind of getting in where he fits in. He hit some nice mid-range jumpers, turnaround, stuff like that. He was dunking the ball where the opportunity arrived, and he was just doing an excellent job of just letting other people eat while he was on the floor. And when it all was said and done, while everybody was celebrating, jumping around, he was walking off of there militant and discipline and understanding that we hadn't accomplished nothing, even though he had played a really good game. I just thought that that's the way I want to see the King approach, because as a leader, even though he's not the number one option, at the end of the day, ain't no question who's the big bro on the team. Come on, we know who it is. Even though the pecking order has changed, when it all comes down to it, people still gonna look at LeBron James and say either you did it or you didn't do it. And this is how he has to do it. He's made some really, really some really strong mistakes. And I say strong with the word intent, because I think the strength comes from knowing that those mistakes left you in a position to lose, and then being intent on changing what you see there, so they can be strong in that they can be a breakthrough for him. It's like, for 20 years he's done some things differently, but now it's going to be upon him to change in order for him to have a better chance of winning. And I think winning is possible, man. I think this could be one of the most rewarding seasons of his career, because it really didn't look all that good. It doesn't look all that good for this team, but they're showing you that from possession to possession, there's even with a massive hole in the roster, they can impose their will in dramatic fashion. And other teams may have holes too. Other teams may play down to the level of the opponent, even though they may be a little more talented. And that's where we can attack them, because our discipline doesn't allow us to ever do that because of the hole that we have on our roster. So as our team is starting to understand that and make the mistakes that come with not respecting that hole, we're becoming even more disciplined. And so that's what I saw tonight. We bounced back good from that Boston loss. I thought we did some things that really helped us in terms of playing size for a change. I hope that the coach was able to see the correlation tonight without, just without a shadow of a doubt. When he put those two guys down there and slapped them together, how the score just went lopsided immediately. I mean, it was obvious. The whole building and everybody who saw it could clearly see what was going on there. And we were just a better team when we ran our taller guys, man. I wanted to see more Troy Brown tonight. I just didn't think we played him enough for how well he was playing. And I just look over at Dennis Schroeder and Patrick Beverley's minutes, and I'm like, I don't have a problem with how they played tonight. Really, I don't. But I wanted Max Christie to get some of them minutes. I wanted Troy Brown to get some of those minutes. I wanted Austin Reeves to get a little more of those minutes. Like, this is the time of night where you need to feature those guys even more because of how they play. I think that Lonnie Walker is in a very serious slump. I don't know if he's dealing with the foot injury still that kind of took place on the road. I don't know if this is just a byproduct of him kind of being an inconsistent player. It's hard to tell since our first year with the guy. But I was very excited about how he's been playing over the first month and a half, almost 2 months of the season. But over the last 3 games, he just has been a no-show, and it's really been a problem. And I don't know. It's inexplicable. And it's almost like it's not happening because everybody else is playing so well and all of that other stuff. But he is struggling in a very significant way right now. And I would love for our coach to, I'd love for us to figure this out. I don't know what it is. It's almost like I'm not really sure what button to press. It's not like I want to pull him out of the starting lineup or send him to the G League. I don't know what button to press that'll make him play better. But it's alarming how poorly he's played over the last several games. The way he shot tonight, we're used to him hitting shots. We're used to him swishing them. He's a very confident shooter. And tonight, the ball wasn't even coming near the rim. It wasn't even coming near the rim. So I don't know. He's in a very, very bad slump. And we've heard of him having these type of slumps in San Antonio. But this is the first time we've seen him truly disappear here. So I'm just watching. I don't even know how to feel. I'm just watching. So that's that. What else, man? I just love what I saw from our team tonight. Overall, we got a victory tonight, even though AD went out. One could look at that, say, here we go again. Him going up against a big-time center. That center starts flexing a little bit, and next thing you know, suddenly something just happens, and suddenly he has to be removed from the game. It's the third time. AD is the third time. When you're the number one option, bro, it can't be just every time you get hurt, now you got to be removed from the game. I know this is not what anyone wants to hear, but it becomes a responsibility to you to just be available to your team, man. Bron James used to have all kinds of knick-knack injuries, but he'd shake them off and he'd play. In big matchups like this where you're supposed to be seeing Jokic, big matchups, you're supposed to be seeing Boston, you're bricking free throws. Big matchups, you're supposed to be seeing Philly and you're bricking free throws. Big matchups. At some point in time, we got to assess the fullness of what we're seeing. Does he play big? Yes, he could put up 50 and 20. But even in the midst of this era where we're in right now, where we expect him to play well, here we go again with him missing games in the midst of all of it. We just, like, half of the time, even when he's at his highest peak, he's still not on the floor half of that time, yo. And so it's just getting to a point where I'm like, I can get a real haul for this dude. And I understand what he can do. But I also understand that I can't rely upon him. And so I'm still on the board with the same stuff. I'm not going to change my mind. I know that's not popular. But I would trade that boy. If the right package came along, I would get me a future and I wouldn't think twice about it. And I would watch him score his 57 and 25 a game for 30 games a season in Chicago or Brooklyn or something else, because I am not up for halfway superstars that eat up a fourth or third of the cap, bro. I'm not up for that. I'm not. I love his style of play when he's out there. He's one of the best defenders I've ever seen. obviously a great offensive player as well. But, I mean, every time it's a big matchup, he just happens to not be available. And this is starting to become a theme. And then the bricking of the free throws, I'm just wondering if this is all mental for him. I'm wondering if he's really having him a time right now. I'm just wondering. So just like I said in regards to Lonnie, in regards to AD, I'm just watching. If the foot is fine, he'll be back out there. I know he has no problem fighting through injuries, but I just look at the situation, I say, this is just a thing with him. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody has injuries. But not everybody. It's not an event for everyone, bro. It's not like, okay, he must be removed from the game every time something hurts. Or he's fighting through injuries every time something hurts. It's like, my God, bro. It's a million players in this league, and his injuries just seem to be more of a thing than anyone else's for whatever set of reasons. So, I don't know. The frustration is just here at this point. That's just what it is. I'm frustrated as often we are, but we are happy to have won the game. Thomas Bryant definitely filled in tremendously and filled that void without any concern. He played big, He just played big. I love what I saw, especially how fast he was running the floor, the defensive side of the ball, how he was just getting steals and stuff. The defensive side of the ball, that is really where the Lakers shine tonight. You just got to give them credit, man. When you play with size, good things happen. When you play with guys who are active, who are hungry, who are fighting for an opportunity to get a chance to play on the big stage, you got to trust that hunger is going to provide you production. That's why I think we should play the Winyans and the Austins and and these guys before they get a chance to become superstars, because this is when they're hungry and this is when they're trying to prove themselves, and that energy is going to overcome a Jamal Murray who's fighting back from injury, who's going to overcome a guy like KCP who's been in the league for a long time. You're going to have success. So that's what I like, that them young legs really did some good things for us. I just want to see our coach, the same way he leans in on Patrick Beverly, lean on them other guys who could really actually connect for you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's this old idea that what's familiar to me needs to be trusted. And that is it's an okay trait. There's nothing wrong with that. It's going to work for you a lot of the time. But in the presence of an ever-evolving sport of basketball, you got to trust that the youth is going to be the evolution of the sport, and thus you're probably going to get more out of the youth than the old guys just off of the strength of that. And I really believe that, man. These dudes are better than their predecessors just off the strength of evolution itself. And so when I look at a Max Christie, I don't see him as the same type of rookie as maybe a guy who came out 15 years ago who looked like him. He's a different person. And he is going to be able to do things on this basketball floor that fit our needs because of his size and defensive ability and rebounding ability and shooting ability, which fell tonight. As I told you, I thought it would in the halftime video. Play Max Christie, man. Just like I told y'all to play Wenyen Gabriel. Just like I've been telling y'all to call up 40 Jones. All these different things that I know is going to work. Do it. We're going to be fine if we do what it is BDF says. I promise you. We'll have size on the floor. We'll rebound the ball. We'll defend every position. We can switch everything. These suggestions, I'm telling you, size matters, man. And AD and Bron don't need a whole lot. They just need people around them who are tall enough to make things make sense. I promise. That's it. It's when you put smaller people on the floor that you leave them at a disadvantage, and the Lakers as an organization have not failed to do this every single season. Stop putting tiny people on the floor with Bron and AD, please. Trade these little dudes away, bring back guys that are over 6'7", and let's rock. Because that's really all it takes. You can see it on the floor. That's all it is. It shouldn't be nobody on this floor shorter than 6'5" no more, man. After we make these trades, to get all the short people out of here, make sure our team is tall, and we're going to win. Because all we need is the ability to switch everything. I really think that. All we need is that ability. So, that's what I have to really share in regards to that. It was a lot of big numbers put up by a lot of players. Obviously, Nikola Jokic, he had 30 points. A bunch of big numbers. I don't actually remember all the numbers put up, but I think our team had like 7 players with double figures. Theirs had like 5. I think Jamal Murray had like 25 points. He was like a minus 18, so that kind of thing. Eric Gordon had a pretty good game. He played well. As I said, Bones Highland didn't shoot very well from behind the arc, 0 for 5, that kind of thing. 3 for 8 for Green. Jeff Green didn't have a good shooting night tonight. So it was just that kind of thing. When you see a Nuggets team come into your building and they're truly playing like they're on the road, you just gotta take advantage, and that's what I thought our Lakers did. We fed off of the home crowd. We fed off of the Austin Reeves' initial energy and AD's initial energy in the game to start, and we just let that momentum kind of help us, on the defensive side, turn defense into offense. As I said, force them 11 steals. Could kind of control the glass a little bit, keep them off of it, and just do all the things necessary to make sure that we secure the victory. That's what it was about. We didn't have no letdowns. Tonight found ourselves up by 14 with 6 minutes to go, and we didn't take our foot off the gas. We kept pushing forward. We didn't start celebrating and acting funny or taking bad shots or anything like that. LeBron James and Anthony Davis had a little inbound issue where they turned the ball over a little bit. They didn't let it get them down. They got back on defense, played a little more basketball, and finished the game, and that's ultimately what it's about. That's what I wanted to see against Boston. It ain't a big deal that you mess up, but it is a big deal if you continue to mess up after you mess up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. Just learning from the mistakes and playing better. I thought we could have shot better from the free throw line tonight. That free throw demon is still, very much prevalent, so we're gonna have to fix that. But when your center comes off the bench, when your big guy goes down and he comes in and just plays the way that he did, 9 out of 11, hits all kinds of shots, makes himself available for Russell Westbrook on so many different dive plays and stuff, which is what I was saying last year was missing, because we didn't want to play a center, and it left Russell Westbrook without these type of plays available to him, which ultimately opens up his entire game. So this was a big pickup, picking up Thomas Bryant, and I just wish that our coach would have trusted to play him sooner, like this, every night, and we would have been just fine. So that's what it is, man. Hopefully Wenyen Gabriel will be back for the Washington game that's going to be coming up very soon. Because obviously, with us getting our second victory without him, clearly we do not function as well without him. But given the fact that we decided to play a little Max Christie, a little more Troy Brown, you kind of got a little bit more extra of what was missing. And our coach wanted to run small ball without the guys, and it's like, no, not with Max Christie sitting there, absolutely not. So I thought that was really key for us, just seeing that our size is actually present, that we're really not as small as our coach forces us to look on a night-to-night basis. So yeah, that's what I was hopeful to see, and we were able to get that done. So great win, Lakers. You know what I mean? Great overall win. I like that we were able to get away with some things tonight. I like that the Denver Nuggets didn't play particularly well tonight. They didn't barn burn. They didn't play to their strengths. They didn't really do anything that overwhelmed us in any way. They kind of just played an average game, and we were able to push them out the way. And that's what I like. It's our second win against this team. Last time they came in here, we got our victory, our first victory of the season. And, you start wondering if the Denver Nuggets have any shot against you. Obviously, you got to respect the fact that Porter wasn't out there. You know what I mean? Because clearly he's a shooter who can give them a lot of what wasn't on the floor. But if they're going to be reluctant to play to their own strengths, that's a matchup I want to see if we have to be in the playoffs. If we got to see any contenders, I want to see Denver. Because Denver is going to do things that ultimately play the way we want to play. And it's going to be something that we can ultimately match up with without their athleticism in the front court. And DeAndre Jordan and Nikola Jokic, that's not enough athleticism. They need to find somebody who can be a little more athletic. They need to go get them Jackson Hayes or somebody like that, or Robert Williams type, to come in and give Jokic more of an athletic Jalen Duren, somebody like that. They need somebody like that in Denver, because that center position, obviously Jokic is one of the best ever, but not for what you need him to be as a center when you consider what rim protection is about and keeping guys from wanting to drive in the paint. We saw Jokic down there in the paint, and we just kept coming at him. He doesn't scare us, and that's what I like about playing Denver. Westbrook's going to fly at him and connect. Austin Reeves is flying at him and connect. Bron is flying at him and connecting. And, of course, Anthony Davis is going to eat all the time. So it's like they're creamy in the middle, basically. They're like a Twinkie. You know what I mean? So you could just drive straight at them and have success in their paint. So that's what I saw, a Denver Nugget team that could use some front court help for sure. And, that's pretty much my take on that. I thought all in all, you got to give appreciation to the playmaking that our team made. You know, we did some good things assisting the ball to one another tonight. Our playmakers, LeBron James, I think it was Austin Reeves, I want to say, uh, of course, Russell Westbrook. All these guys had multiple assists. Patrick Beverly, the shorter guys, they made sure that they got their assists off and helped others. So, you know, that's what we want to see, a whole team win, especially if a guy like Lonnie Walker is not going to be able to make up for scoring. We really needed those scoring, the scoring from everywhere else. We needed those 2 threes from Max Christie. We needed all them points from Thomas Bryant, because those are normally points we get from Lonnie Walker. So that's what it is, man. Ultimately, this fantastic game that we saw here. I missed the Kobe minute, but of course we want to acknowledge. And I'm pretty sure you'd be proud of this one. You know, ultimately the Denver Nuggets are a contender this year, and we already have 2 wins against them. So that is a big deal. I think that's something we could really hang our hat on. So, of course, again, Washington coming up next. We've already beat them, of course, last week. And this is a situation where we're going to be, of course, having to see a team that's going to want some revenge. Kyle Kuzma is going to be coming to our building, so you know he's going to want to light it up. Of course, he's trying to get traded here. Maybe. I don't know if he's actually trying to get traded here, but, you know, I mean, it's looking like the Lakers might be interested in him, so I'm imagining he's going to want to have a big game against us. So Laker fans will be ready for that. But for the time being, we're going to celebrate this victory here against the Denver Nuggets. And, yeah, appreciate that Bron was able to close him out and just flex a little bit at the end of that game. You know what I mean? When we still understand that's our guy. You know, if he's going to play well, chances are we're going to be able to win a lot of games. So I was happy to see him drop, 30-something tonight? On high efficiency from the field. And again, Russell Westbrook with the triple-double. 2 straight games where his stats have just been out of this world. He's really starting to find himself. So that's what it is, man. Lakers win. BDF 44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.